Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before we start our lesson, we will begin with reciting surah. The first one will be Surah Al-Fatihah, Surah Taha ayat 1 hingga 5, Surah Al-Insyirah, Surah Al-Kafirun, and then Surah Al-Ikhlas by 3 times. After that, followed by selawat ke atas Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk memenuhi perintah Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk memenuhi hak Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk mendapat syafaat Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam di akhirat kelak. Dan kita niatkan segala bacaan surah dan selawat kita ni untuk kedua orang tua, keluarga dan seluruh umat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Kemudian doa sebelum belajar, semoga dengan usaha ini akan membantu pelajar agar mudah memahami dan dibukakan hati para pelajar untuk mencintai ilmu. Okay?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم طه ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى إلا تذكرة لمن يخشى تنزيلا ممن خلق الأرض والسماوات العلى الرحمن على العرش استوى. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد 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 محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل 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 محمد
Doa sebelum belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma aftah alaina hikmataka wanshur alaina min hazaini rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Ya Allah, bukakanlah ke atas kami hikmat-hikmat-Mu dan limpahilah ke atas kami khazanah rahmat-Mu. Wahai yang maha pemurah lagi maha penyayang.
Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Ya Rabbku, lapangkanlah untukku dadaku dan mudahkanlah untukku urusanku dan lepaskanlah kekakuan dari lidahku, supaya mereka mengerti perkataanku.
Amin.
Amin, 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 Ya Rabbal Alamin. In this session, we will discuss about relationships and graphs. So can you please get ready with your notes, page 68 until 74, and your worksheet, page 64 until 70. Three subtopics that we're going to cover in this topic. The first one, 1.10.1, expressing linear relationships algebraically in tables and graphically. The second one, 1.10.2, plotting simple linear functions graphs. And the last one, 1.10.3, plotting and interpreting simple real-life situations graph. Now, let us start with topic 1.10.1, expressing linear relationship algebraically in tables and graphically. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to explain that linear relationships can be expressed in different ways, algebraically, in tables, or graphically. Steps to success. The first one, substitute x with given values. Solve the equation to find y. And plot the coordinates x and y into the graph. Okay, for coordinates, don't forget to write bracket, and we start with x first and then put comma and then y axis. Okay, for example 1, graph the linear equations using a table of values. This is the most important question in exam, so you must know how to complete this type of questions. Alright, and here we we make it step by steps, but in exam, you can directly substitute that x to find y. Okay, and here we have x 740 here, and then that means you need to substitute 7 into this x to get this y. Okay, and you need to substitute this 4 into this x plus 2, then get that y, and then we substitute 0 into this x plus 2 to get the y. Alright, so we start with 7. 7 plus 2 will get 9. Therefore, your coordinates will be 7 and 9. Don't forget to put bracket and comma to split that 7 and 9. Okay, for plus 2, it will give you 6. Therefore, for 6. Remember, x first, then y. And then 0 plus 2 will give you 2, and your coordinates will be 0, comma 2. Okay, 0, 2. Once you got these coordinates, then you plot into the graph given. Okay, when we say graph the linear equation, that means you need to plot all of these informations into the graph. Okay, and the first one, 7, 9, you look at x here. X is at the x-axis. This is your x-axis, and this is your y-axis. Okay, and then you look for 7. Here is 6. Of course, here is 7, and move upwards until 9. Okay, here is 9. Alright, moving on with 4 and 6. So from 4 here on x-axis, move upwards until you got 6 from your y-axis. And then 0, 2. X first and move upward into 2. You will get this. And don't leave your answers like this. You need to join them by draw a straight line. Okay, that is your next step. And then your final step, you need to label. Okay, you need to label the line. You need to put the equations of the line near to the line near to the line that we draw just now. Okay, so y equal to x plus 2. You must label. Okay, this is very important, and these questions and this topic is very important question in exam. Make sure you know how to complete the table, and you know how to plot the points into the graph, and don't forget to join the line with a straight line, and then label it with the equation. Alright, next we have part B, y equal to 3x minus 7, and we have the graph here. Alright, and please remember that for your horizontal line, it is your x-axis, and for your vertical line, it is your y-axis. Alright, and please remind yourself, when we talk about linear equation, the line must be a straight line. If your graph is not a straight line, that means you did some mistakes in your calculation. Alright, and the second one, please remind yourself that all of the power for all the variable is always 1 for linear equation. Okay, now here is the table, and I will give you 1 minute to solve, to substitute and solve and find y and also the coordinates. All right, I give you 1 minute from now. Okay, now let us start with x equal to 4. So substitute 4 into that x, and then when we calculate, and the y must be 5, and the coordinates is 4, 5, 4, 5. Remember to start with x first, then y. And then when we substitute 1 into that x, and then you will get negative 4. Alright, and your coordinate will be 1, negative 4. Next, we substitute 0 into that x, and then you will get your y, negative 7, and coordinate is 0, negative 7. Once you complete your table, plot all the coordinates into the graph. The first one, 4, 5. So from 4, move upwards until you reach 5, and then plot. After that, 1, remember x-axis first, 1, and move downwards up to negative 4. You need to find out the negative 4. And then the last one, 0, negative 7. Remember x is 0, so move downwards into negative 7s. Once you plot all of the points, and then don't forget to draw a line and label. Label means you put that equation into the graph near to the line you just drawn just now. Alright, so y equal to 3x minus 7. Labeling is very important, and I repeat myself, this type of questions, graph questions, always come out in exam. Okay, it is a very important question that you need to practice. Next, we move to topic 1.10.2, plotting simple linear functions graph. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to generate coordinates pairs that satisfy simple linear rules using function machine, function tables, and algebraic expression. Okay, and steps to success. The first one, define the x-axis and y-axis. You should know the basic of x-axis and y-axis. The second one, draw the scale for each intervals. That is very important. And the last one, plot all points and join them to form a straight line graph. Okay. Okay. This is the another important question in exam that you must know how to solve. Okay, and here we discuss for part A first. Generate coordinate pairs by completing the following table of values for the equation y equal to x plus 4. The basics same like your 1.10.1. Okay, so you use the equation given, substitute that x into the equation to get y. Okay, please copy this down in your notes, the workings here. Please copy it down in your notes. So when x equal to 0, y equal to 0 plus 4, and the answer is 4. Okay, the second one, when x equal to 2, we substitute that 2 into that x, the answer is 6. The next one, when x equal to 3, y equal to 3 plus 4 equal to 7. And last one, when x equal to 5, and then you substitute into the equation and you will get 9. So the value for y when x is 0 is 4, when x is 2, the y is 6, when x is 3, the y is 7, and when x equal to 5, the one is 9. Next, for part B, you need to plot the points in a grid and obtain the straight line graph of y equal to x plus 4. These tables that we already done in our part A, and then you are given blank graph here. You are given blank graph here. When in exam, when you are given blank graph, you need to think carefully the scales, how you're going to draw the x-axis, the y-axis. Okay, and for here I will put like this, so x-axis and y-axis. And then don't forget to write the scales. We have even numbers here, and we have two even numbers and two odd numbers here. All right, so how you going to do your scales? Once you do one of the scale, it must be consistent to the other scales. Okay, so here I'm using only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then your y-axis I put 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. After that, you plot all the points 0 to 4, and then 2, 6, 3, 7. I put like this because 7 is at the middle between 8 and 6. Alright, and then I put 9 here because it is at the middle between 10 and 8. Once you got the points, don't forget to join all the points to join all of the points to get straight line, and label near to your line y equal to x plus 4. Now, from your graph, it says from your graph, find the value of y if x equal to 4. So, you look at 4 and the answer is 8. Okay? And for part 2, find from your graph, find the value of x if y equal to 5. So y equal to 5. See? So the answer is 1. Example 3. Here we have two questions. And the first one, you need to complete the table of values for y equal to 2x plus 4. Here is the table. And for part B, you need to draw the graph of y equal to 2x plus 4 for values of x from this -1 until 3. Okay, I give you 1 minute to complete part A. Okay, now, so when x equal to -1, you will get 2 for y, and then substitute 1 into that x when x equal to 1. So you should get 6, and then when x equal to 2, and then you should get 8. Now, I give you another 1 minute for you to plot all of these coordinates to the graph. 1 minute from now. Okay, now let's start with -1. So here -1 and 2, after that 0, 4, after that 1, 6, after that 2a, and last one 3, 10, and then forget to don't forget to join all of the point and then label y equal to 2x plus 4 like this. Now example 4. Here we have two questions. The first one, you need to complete the table of values for the equations of y equal to half x plus 1 with the given table here. And the second one, you need to draw the graph of y equal to half x plus 1, which is this one, okay, into the grid given. Okay, this is exam type questions. Make sure you know how to answer it, all right? Now, you are given x here, so you need to substitute x given here into the equation to get the value for y. Okay, for the first one, when x equal to 0 and y equal to 1, when x equal to 1, the y will be 1.5. It's better for you to keep the answer in decimal for your graphing, okay? It is much easier for you to plot the graph in decimal instead of fraction. We proceed with x equal to 2 when x equal to 2, so y equal to 2. When x equal to 3, y will be 2.5. When x equal to 4, and y will be 3. Now, I already helped you with all the values here, okay, for your coordinates. So for part B, I want you to try first to plot all of the coordinates here into the grid given. I give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now for graphing, it is important for you to know the interval here. We call it interval. The interval for this little square. Okay, so here is 0 and here is 1. So what is the difference between 0 and 1? Okay, so the difference is 0.1. And here will be the first little square will be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5 will be here, 0.5 will be here, and 0.5 will be, wait, 0.5 will 0.5 will be here. Okay, and then here will be 0.9 and here will be 1. Okay, that is really important for you to know the interval before you start plotting your graph. Now, we start with 0 when x equal to 0, so y equal to 1. When x equal to 1 and y will be 1.5. When x equal to 2 and y will be 2. When x equal to 3, y will be 3.5. So 3.5 will be, 2.5. Okay, for 3, for y equal to 3, y will be 2.5. Okay, so 2.5 will be here. All right, we proceed with 4 when x equal to 4 and then y equal to 3. And don't leave your answer like this. Join all the points by drawing a line. Okay, and it is important for you to label here. Okay, label near to your line here, y equal to half x plus 1. Label or name the graph. Name the graph means you need to write the equation near to the line. Okay. Next, example 5, the last example before we proceed with another subtopic. And we have part A and part B. And for part A, you need to complete the table. And the difference of these questions with the previous questions, sum of the y here is given. For here, when x equal to 2, your y is 7. When x equal to 3, your y is 5. And when your x equal to 5, your y is 1. So you just need to find these three unknown. Okay, these three unknown for part A. And then for part B, you need to plot the coordinates into this graph. Okay, on the grid, draw the graph of y equal to minus 2x plus 11 for values of x from 0 to 5. You already prepare with your x-axis and y-axis, okay? But if your y-axis and x-axis is not given, you need to make sure your x is from 0 into 5, okay? And there is no other requirement for the graph, so it's okay for you to use two box here, two squares here for 1 and one box here for 1, okay, because there is no other requirement. All right, now I give you 1 minute to complete your part A first. I give you 1 minute, so you can start now. Okay, now when x equal to 0 and your y will be 11, when x equal to 1, your y will be 9, and when x equal to 4 and your y will be 3. Okay, now I give you another 1 minute to plot all of these coordinates into the graph given. Okay, now so we plot 0, 11, 1, 9, 2, 7, 3, 5, 4, 3, 5, 1, and don't forget to join all of the points and label y equal to negative 2x plus 11 near to your line. Okay, And remember, please remind yourself for linear equation, your line always a straight line. If your line is not a straight line, that means you did mistake in any of your calculation here. So be careful. Next, last subtopic, topic 1.10.3, plotting and interpreting simple linear real-life situation graphs. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to plot and interpret the graphs of simple linear functions arising from real-life situation. And S2S, our steps to success. The first one, identify the scale for each interval. And the second one, interpret the graph to answer the questions given. Now, let's begin with example 6. And here you are given the graph and also questions, a set of questions. So this is conversion topic, but in terms of graphing, okay? I give you 1 minute to try to answer all of these 4 questions. Okay, now for the first questions, find the amount in Australian dollars which is equivalent to Brunei dollar 100. Before you start interpret the graph, you need to know the value for each of these little square. Okay, so here is 0, here is 50, the difference is 50, 50 minus 0, and then you divide by 10. To know the value for each of these little square, you put like this, 50 minus 0 will give you 10. Will give you 50. Will give you 50, and then you divide with 10 little square. Okay, you divide with 10 little square, so the value for this little square is 5. Okay, and back to part A. From the 100 Brunei dollar on your y-axis, your Brunei dollar is on your y-axis, and your Australian dollar on your x-axis. So 100 Brunei dollar, you bring it down, and it is 85 Australian dollar. Okay, AUD 85. For part B, find the amount in Brunei dollar which is equivalent to Australian dollar 160. So your Australian dollar here 160, bring upwards and then to your left, and you should get Brunei dollar 180. And next, for part C, a British tourist paid Brunei dollar 150 for an item. Find the amount paid in Australian dollar. So you look for Brunei dollar 150 and move down to the Australian dollar, and you will get Australian dollar 130. For part D, a hotel in England charged Australian dollar 200 for a standard room per day. Find this amount in Brunei dollar. So it is Brunei dollar 230. Do not afraid to answer the questions, okay? You just try to read the question first. Look like difficult, like this part. Look like difficult, but it is just a simple conversion, okay? What you need is you need to interpret the graph to get the information, all right? Next, example 7. So here is about Rebecca. Rebecca went on a bike ride. This graph shows Rebecca's distance from home on her bike ride. Okay, I give you 1 minute to complete all of the question given. Okay, now for part A, how far had Rebecca traveled after 30 minutes? So 30 minutes here, and the answer is 6 kilometer. For part B, after 60 minutes, Rebecca stopped for a rest. For a rest, when the information is about rest, your graph will be flat like this. Okay, your graph will be flat like this. So the rest part for this graph will be this one. Okay, for how many minutes did she rest? So you take this one and you calculate the minutes, and the answer is 20 minutes. And the last one for part C, how far did Rebecca travel in total? So you need to add all of the distance, okay? So distance equal to 12, okay, plus 0, and then plus 12, and the answer is 24 kilometer. Now, last example before we stop. I give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now for part A, how far from home was the restaurant? So look for y-axis here for distance, and the answer is 6 kilometer. Here is home, and here is the restaurant. Okay, at what time did they leave the restaurant? And from here you bring downwards to look for times, and the answer is 1440. In 12 hours, it will be 2:40 p.m. For part C, how long did they stay at his grandparents' house? When the question asks you about stay or rest, the graph will be flat like this. So you just look at here and find out the time, the duration, okay, the duration, and it is 25 minutes. And for part D, it took them 35 minutes non-stop for their return journey home. So when it is about return journey, that means your graph will move downwards. Okay, complete the travel graph here. And 35 minutes will be up to 1400. Okay, 35 minutes will be up to this 1400. Sorry, for this 1600. And 1600 in 12-hour clock is 4 p.m. Okay, and this one is the answer. Okay, so this will be the last part for our session. Don't forget to complete your notes, complete your worksheet. Please work hard. And we end our session by reciting dua as usual. Thank you so much, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Doa selepas belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma inni astaudi'uka ma 'allamtani fardudhu ilayya inda hajati ilaihi wala tansani ya rabbal alamin. Ya Allah, sesungguhnya aku menitipkan padamu ilmu-ilmu yang telah engkau ajarkan kepadaku, dan kembalikanlah kepadaku sewaktu aku memerlukannya kembali. Dan janganlah engkau lupakan aku kepada ilmu itu, wahai Tuhan yang memiliki semesta alam. Amin.